Hello guys, and welcome to the next part of the Battleground series. This is going to be mainly a bug fixing part, and we're also going to add a cool loading screen, because sometimes loading the data takes a while, and we're also going to fix some data issues, which might arise when you have multiple characters, and the data takes a lot of time to load. So let's get right into it. So the first problem is actually right here, because currently when we join the game, you won't be able to do anything. You can stay here for maybe 10 minutes and you can't do anything. You can't punch, the emotes don't work, you can't change your character, nothing works. The problem is it's still waiting on the get appearance remote script. But when we go in here, we can see that the get appearance is not here. I don't know why, but it somehow isn't. So if you somehow don't have it there, you need to add it. So the get appearance is let me see. That appearance is where is our get appearance? Oh yeah, of course, I deleted it. So we gotta just delete this line and then everything works again. Sorry for the troubleshooting, but as you can see now everything loads again and everything works. So yeah. Also, this is on the client now, so we also gotta delete this because otherwise our emotes don't work. So just go to the emotes and just delete the get appearance, and there you go. So next up, for the data issues. So we want to go to our modules into our data manager and just open it. So the first thing I would advise you guys to do is to cut this out. Then we want to do local data key. And then what we want to do is if run service colon is studio, then we want to set the data key to be equal to def, also like your key, like the key you had, which is gonna be underscore data store 3 for me. So I'm gonna just put this here as it was, underscore, and then in here it's gonna be equal to public. So when you are in public, it's gonna have the data key of public, and when you're in Roblox Studio testing, it's gonna have your different data key. So I would advise you guys to don't change this key here at all, but to just change this key, because our system should work where you can change any values and they will update in game. So there's no like needing to reset the data stores. So we can just use this. Then secondly, when we add our player, we actually want to wrap this in a task dot defer. We add a function and then just paste this, or actually in the task dot spawn. So we want to spawn a new function to handle this, because as you can probably think, when multiple players join at the same time or closely at the same time while other players' data is still loading, this can like chain up and it can take a while to load each player data. So when we just use task.spawn, we allocate it to a different part of our server, and so it just handles all these players separately instead of one time for every player. This makes it a lot faster. The same we can do for player removing, but here we are going to use task.defer because we want it to delay 1 frame, pretty much. So once we got this, we can go ahead and close this all off. Or actually, let's also use task.spawn. And yeah, in our play edits, you can see that we do a lot of if statements with else. Yeah. So there's something like irrelevant here, because when we add a player, we should check if the player is a descendant of players, because maybe some of you are going to think, but when we add a player and we specify that it is a player with this column, and we check if it's a player class, then it's gonna be sure that the player is gonna be a descendant of the players. But well, it is, a player is always gonna land in the players folder. But the thing is, maybe the player hasn't loaded yet, and so it's not gonna be in here. So what we actually want to do is we want to do repeat task.wait, which you want to wait 1 second until player is descendant of players. Because now what happens is it's gonna wait 1 second until the player is loaded in. Because if we don't do this, the player is essentially going to get released, and then we are essentially going to kick the player. So that's probably going to be it for the data fixing issues. Let's see how fast it loads now. You can see that it probably loaded as fast. We can actually do some values here. So what we can do is we can get the node times. So when we go to data manager, and at the top of our script, at this millisecond this gets loaded, we want to do print, or we want to do local ts. It's going to be equal to tick. And then what we can do, or actually we can do os.time, and then I think this. Was it this? Or was it? I think it was this. And let me just check one. Give me 1 single second. I don't want to bullshit you guys, so just give me a tiny seconds to just check this, because then we can just access the time and everything we need just out of this function, because then we don't have to convert anything. It's going to be faster, and yeah, it's essentially just going to be faster. So let me just see how this works. Let me just go into the module scripts. If I would be able to find it. Okay, I think I got it. Oh, it's gonna be not os.time but os.date, and then column like the times t. Now this makes sense. And then we can actually so this is gonna be equal to now. And then we can go ahead, and when we load it, we can do local new time or loaded time. It's going to be this. And then we want to print a time past time took to load. And then we essentially want to use this here, the host update. We want to do the now dot min Or we could actually just use tick. I think it would be easier. Tick. And let's do tick here. And then we just do now minus load time. Actually, no, load time minus the now. This should give us a good value. So we go in here. It took 3.14 seconds to load, essentially. Yeah, so yeah, it took 3.14 seconds. So then let's rejoin and let's see. So when we rejoin, you can see that it's now took 3.0 seconds, so it always takes like 3 seconds to load. So now we also got this cool timestamp. So now we can experiment with stuff. If we actually maybe put the server into replicates first, and we then go ahead and do script.parent is going to be equal to script service. We might be able to pull off a path to time. So let's go ahead and try this out. And we got 3 seconds again. It's probably going to be a bit fast on the long run, but it's not going to be as fast as it needs to be. So we can get rid of this again and now focus on the loading screen. So I'm not going to make this very complicated. I'm just going to make it a basic screen because there's a lot of good loading screen tutorials out there. I'm just going to make a UI, screen UI, call this loading, and just add a frame. Make the frame 1. Actually, let me change the color first so y'all don't get a flashbang. There we go. And then make sure you ignore GUI inset and put this into the replicates first. Then I'm just going to adjust the color to like a more black, like this. Then I'm going to add a script in here. I'm going to add a script. And then here I'm going to do players dot player added connect function. I'm going to get the player. Then player dot player joy. I'm going to do script dot loading clone the parent is going to be equal to player joy. Or I'm actually going to do local clone equal to this, and then I'm going to do clone the parent is going to be equal to there. Then, because we have the loaded flag in here, as you can see, we have the, or do we? No, we don't. Okay, so let's go ahead and make the loaded flag actually. So what we want to do is in our leaded stats here, we want to go to the top and create a loaded flag. So it's going to be loaded. It's going to be a bool value. It's going to be inside of all player. And it's going to be false. And I'm going to put this even above the leader stats. Then, once we have this, we can use this. So when we go to our data manager, in the player edits, when we warn this, we can do player dot loaded dot value is equal to true. And on the other side, when we go here, we can do false. Now on the script, we can do repeat pass the weight 1 or 0.05 until player dot loaded player wait for child loaded dot value. I'm gonna copy the wait for child because I'm just gonna do paste it here and here, and then we can just do clone this try. And now when we join in, you can see that we first get the loading screen, but we don't get the loading screen. Why are we not getting the loading screen? Let's actually move this into the server. And then just cut this out, remove this, go to our server. Or actually just put it in the data manager. Outside of the task on spawn, just put it here. Actually above this one here. And then we just move this into the data manager as well. Then we go play. You can see that we now have this thing here. And oh, because it's a repeating wait, it's not like going. So we want to actually also use task.spawn for this. And then we can go in. And you can see this was a basic loading screen. I can show that to you again. Actually, to make it smoother, we can just also go on the data manager and then do task the wait 1 more second. And then we can just, so when we join, everything is going to be gray. And then once everything loaded, it's gonna let us in. So that was it for this video. Thank you all for watching. If you like what I do, if you want to support me, please consider liking and subscribing. It would help me out a lot. And thank you for your support. See you on the next one. Peace.